Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's DLloyd. So the Detroit Lions have signed their former quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, to what we're assuming is a one-year deal for the rest of the season, heading into the playoffs with just a few weeks left in the NFL. Now, let's talk about this because one, I think this is a fantastic signing for the Detroit Lions and really even Teddy Bridgewater, right? Teddy Bridgewater was with the Lions last season. He decided to retire. He wanted to pursue his head coaching opportunity at the high school level at his alma mater, wins a state championship this season. So definitely congrats to Teddy Bridgewater for being able to pull that off. Now he says that he wants to come back and then return to coaching in February. Now, this signing right here, I think is a great one for both parties because it does allow Teddy Bridgewater to kind of do both, right? Participate the end of the season throughout the playoffs. The Detroit Lions are in a great position, a team that a lot of people, even if not the favorite, they have them as one of the top, teams in the NFC. You put them in that situation where he could play if he need be. If not, he can kind of just be a part of the team and see how things play out. And then he can go back to coaching in February. I'm not sure what the rest of Teddy Bridgewater's career will end up being in terms of if he's going to play multiple seasons or if this is just a final run, one last run. I'm not sure. But what I can say is I think this is a great move for the Detroit Lions. Now, you could ask why. We have not seen Teddy Bridgewater play football in over a season. Well, I can tell you why I believe this is a great signing. Teddy Bridgewater has been a solid quarterback throughout his career. Of course, a former first-round draft pick, been through a lot of different stops in the NFL, and every single stop that he goes to, teammates love him. He has that veteran presence, and he's just a very smart football player. If there's any circumstance that they lose Jared Goff, you have Hendon Hooker currently, or you could go bring in a Teddy Bridgewater. Now with Hendon Hooker, a guy who we all know could have potential, but I think a guy we could all unanimously agree hasn't shown that he is quite ready for prime time rights now. Maybe he can get it done currently, but pressure gets deep in the playoffs. Things get tight. Is Hendon Hooker the guy you want to rely on? That is where I think there is some type of hesitancy when it comes to if Hendon Hooker's the guy. So you go get a Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater has that veteran presence. He has that experience, and I think you feel more comfortable with a Teddy Bridgewater. Even after a year staying out, I think you feel more comfortable with him coming in and being able to provide a spark or at least be able to hold it down for maybe a quarter, maybe a half, maybe an entire game, maybe a few games, depending on if any potential injuries happen to Jared Goff. He is one heck of an insurance policy. And I think that's all this is, right? He's not coming in to be a long-term quarterback for the Lions. This is just with the current roster, the way it is. And we know you don't always have opportunities in the NFL. The Lions have an opportunity this season to kind of get to the Super Bowl if everything pans out correctly. If anything happens to Jared Goff, a team that has already been decimated by injuries, the Detroit Lions, especially the defensive line, have lost just about every starter that they had on the defensive line. On the defensive end in general, a ton of injuries that they have gone through this season. Offense hasn't been as bad, but still a team riddled with injuries. You have to just protect the quarterback position because we know that's still the most important position out there. And Hendon Hooker, although has shown some improvements and has shown flashes that he could be a solid quarterback, I'm not sure he has won over too many people. Now, Dan Campbell has backed Hendon Hooker a little bit, saying this is not a signing to show his disappointment of Hendon Hooker, but more so he believes the veteran leadership and experience could be a role in the playoffs because it is a different world. And I definitely agree with that. Playoffs, not the same beast as the regular season. If anything were to happen, I do think Teddy Bridgewater is good enough with that roster, with that team, that he could still manage to squeak out a few wins if need be. Perfect world, you don't even have to worry about it. And that's one thing they won't have to worry about. But in that circumstance, the unfortunate circumstance, nobody wants it to happen, right? That something does happen to Jared Goff. Teddy Bridgewater is a heck of a replacement, especially this late and especially for probably how cheap he's going to sign. I don't think he's going to cost a lot of money at all. So I love this signing for the Detroit Lions. We'll see, man. The Lions trying to get that #1 seed. They're a playoff team. We'll see how many games they have to play the guys the last 2 weeks. We'll see what happens, but great signing. But you guys let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Do you believe this is a good signing for the Detroit Lions? Would you rather them stuck with Hendon Hooker if there was an injury? of course, or like you said, are you with me saying this is a great deal? Let me know how you guys feel about it in the comment section below. As usual, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. Helps me out a lot, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's DLloyd. I'm see y'all next time. Peace.